Good evening everyone. I welcome you all back to a new session. I am Harish Sen, Senior Physics Faculty. So let's start today. So today we are into the fourth lecture of transition course. So today we are going to talk about trigonometry. In the last class also, in the third lecture, I did talk about trigonometry. So let's first do a quick recap of what we actually did in the last class. Okay, so so what is the first thing that I did yesterday was I taught you that right? I taught you how to find the arc length of a sector, right? I told you that this is a sector and basically how to find the arc length. Then we moved on to conversion, right? We learned how to convert degrees to radians and vice versa, right? Third thing we did was then we moved on to the basic trigonometric ratio that or the T ratios, and then we talked about the trigonometric identities. Later on we talked about values of trigonometric functions for common angles, and I told you to complete this table. I hope you have completed this table, and I also told you that this is very important table, right? This is very important table for your physics journey in class 11th and 12th. Without this you will not be able to solve many of the questions. So I request you to please remember this question, okay? Remember this table and learn it by heart because this is very important. Okay, and next, so then we talked about some important formulas. So sum of formula, right? Sum and difference formula, sin A plus B, sin A minus B. These are some formulas. I request you to please remember them. And then we talked about these formulas, sin C plus sin D, cos C plus cos D, right? So today we are going to start with lecture number 4. Okay. So today we will talk about double angle formula. First of all, let's start with double angle formula first, right? So what is double angle formula? So let's understand this thing, right? That here we have written 2A, right? What is 2A? 2A is double of the angle, right? So what is the angle here? If you look very closely, the angle is A here, right? And 2A means double of the angle. So angle is A and double angle. What is double angle? Double angle is 2A, right? So that is why it is known as a double angle formula. This means that whenever, let's suppose if A is 30 degree, then double angle will be 2A will be 60 degree. Let's say if A is 45, then 2A will be 90. So in this case, sin 2A can be written as 2 sin A cos A. Okay, it can be written as 2 sin A cos A. Okay, so now how to now let's suppose what type of question can be given in this. So let's say if I want to find the value of sine, right? Now let's suppose double the formula, right? So let's say it is given, let's say 74. Let's say 74 degrees is given to you, right? Let's say this is given to you. Then do I know the value of sine 74 degree? No, I do not. So what can I do? So I can use this formula. I can write this is as 2 sine. Now let's say this is 2A, right? Let's say this is 2A. So in this case, what is 2A? So 2A is equal to 74 degrees, right? What is A? A will be equal to 2 3s are 6 and 2 7s are 14. That is A equals to 37 degrees. So in that case, I can write 2 sine 37 degree cos 37 degree, right? So this will become 2. Now what is sine 37, right? So to know the value of sine 37, again we have to go back, right, to the table, because I told you that table is very important. And even if you don't remember the table, right, I have taught you a trick. What is the trick? The triangle of 3 4 5. Okay, the triangle of 3 4 5, where the angle 90 degrees is there and this is my 37 degrees. And what is sine? Sine is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So what is sine 37? Sine 37 is 3 by 5. Similarly, what is cos 37? Cos 37 is base upon hypotenuse, that is 4 upon 5. Right? So this will become how much? 3 4s are 12 and 12 2s are 24. So 24, and here we will have 5 into 5 is 25. Okay. So that is the value of sine 74. Okay, so this is how you will use double angle formula for your calculations. Okay, so why we are doing so many formulas? Okay, sum and difference formula, then double angle formula, right? We'll also do triple angle formula. This is we are doing because we see I have some standard angles, and what are the standard angles? 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 37 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, also 53 degree and 90 degrees. Okay, so these are the standard angles. Now I will not go and learn each and every angle, right, because that is not feasible. So these are the formulas through which I can make the non-standard formulas, right? So this is very important. Similarly, what is cos 2a? Cos 2a is cos square a minus sin square a. Okay, so you should remember this formula. Okay, you should remember this formula. Now how to make this formula from this formula? Let's understand. Okay, so this I can write as, okay, so cos square a, and if you look here, there is only cos, right? There is no sin here. So now what can I write sin as? So what is the trigonometric identity, right? So there are three trigonometric identities, right? What is first? Sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. So from there I can write sin squared theta as 1 minus cos squared theta. So same thing I am going to do here, that is 1 minus cos squared theta. Okay, so I hope this is understandable here. So what can be this? This can be written as cos square a minus 1 plus cos square a, right? So this will become cos square a plus cos square a, this will become 2 cos square a minus 1, right? So this will become 2 cos square a minus 1. So this is how you can derive this formula. Okay, now tell me how to derive 1 minus 2 sin square a. How to derive 1 minus 2 sin square a? What you should do? Okay, so you should take this same formula, and instead of cos square a you can write 1 minus sin square a, correct? Because sin square a plus cos square a is equals to 1, and sin square a will become 1 minus cos square a, or cos square a will become 1 minus sin square a. So if I put this, I will get the below formula. So I hope you can remember all these formulas. And finally, if you want to report in terms of tan, so what is the formula? 1 minus tan square a upon 1 minus tan square a. Okay, usually people get confused that will the plus come in the numerator or in the denominator. Okay, so please understand that sine or the value of cos is always less than 1. Okay, so when it is less than 1? When numerator is less than the denominator. So minus is here because 1 minus something will be less than 1 and 1 plus something will be greater than 1. So numerator is less than the denominator. Okay, now for what is tan 2 theta? Tan 2 theta is 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta. Okay, what is the way to remember them? You have to remember them by heart. Okay, there is no shortcut, and if you remember them, right, life will become easy. Because see, when you were learning ABCD, right, when you were in small classes, right, you did not question the teacher, right? If you now, so same thing, if you did question them at that time, you will never be able to learn English language, right? So same thing here, that you right now try to learn them. Okay, later on as you progress in your 11th and 12th, you will understand how this comes. Okay, each and everything will make sense to you, but for now on the thing is that you have to remember them. Okay, because this is the basics. Okay, this is the basics which you should know. Okay, if you understand it, very nice. If you don't understand it, I tell you to learn it right now. Next, so let's say I want to find the value of tan 15, right? So how to find the value of tan 15? So let's understand. So tan 15, so what? So double angle formula. No, I know the value of tan 30. I know the value of tan 30, and what is the value of tan 30? Value of tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So I will use this formula to find the value of tan 15. So let's use this formula. What is tan 2 theta? So I can say that tan 2 theta is equal to 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta, right? This is the formula I am going to use. So instead of theta, right, I can put 15 degree. So let's put 15 degree. So I will get tan into 2 into theta will become 30 degrees is equal to 2 tan 15 upon 1 minus tan square 15. Correct? Now once I have this, right, what can I have? I can say that the value of tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equals to 2 tan 15 upon 1 minus tan square 15, right? This is 15 degree. Now how to solve this? Okay, so what I'll do, I'll take tan 15 as, let's say, some value x. Okay, I am substituting because I don't want to write tan 15 every time. So what will this become? This will become 1 by root 3 is equal to 2x upon 1 minus x square. Correct? So this will become how much? 1 minus x square. If I cross multiply, this will become 2 root 3x. Right? And if I put this here, this will become x square minus 2 root 3x, right? And minus, this will become, right? And this will become minus 1. So this will come here x square, and this 1 will come here, this will become minus 1, and this is 2 root 3 minus x as it is. Right? So what is this exactly? Right? What is this? This is a quadratic equation in x, or I can say this is a quadratic equation in tan 15. Okay, so I now just need to solve this quadratic equation. Okay, so how to solve the quadratic equation? Right? There are many ways to solve the quadratic equation, but I'll use the easiest way, that is just the formula. Right? So what is the formula for quadratic equation? So let's say if I have a quadratic equation of ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. If of this form I have a quadratic equation. What is the formula? The roots are given by x is equals to minus b. Right? X is equal to, okay, try to recall, x is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Right? So now what is b here? So what is the value of b? B is 2 root 3, right? B is 2 root 3. So this is 2 root 3. Okay, what is the value of x? A is 1. And what is the value of c? C is minus 1. So now I just need to substitute these values inside this equation, and I'll get the value of tan 15. So I want you to do this calculation, and in the next class I will discuss what is the final answer. Okay, so next thing, the thing you have to also learn is to solve questions. Okay, the thing is that sometimes calculations can be lengthy, and you should try to solve question on your own. Okay, so also please attempt questions whenever I am giving you some homework. Okay, I will discuss that in the next class, so that what will happen, that you will it will be very interesting conversation between you and me, that okay, I am giving you some question or homework, and later on when you are able to solve that or get it correct, right, you will have a sense of accomplishment, right? You will feel very good that okay, I am able to solve the question. Okay, so please try to get the answer, and we will discuss it tomorrow. Similarly, let's suppose, okay, this is also homework for you. Okay, please try to solve this question. There are 4 questions. All of them can be solved using double angle formula. Okay, so what you have to use? You have to use double angle formula. Now we'll move on to the triple angle formula. Okay, so what is triple angle formula? So let's understand here. Okay, so now what is the angle? Angle is theta. This is my angle. And why it is triple angle? Because it is given 3 times the angle, right? So it is a triple angle formula. Okay, so now what is the formula for sine 3 theta? It is 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. What is the formula? 3 sine theta minus 4 sine, okay, this is wrong, this should be cube. Okay, this should be cube. What is the formula? 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. What is cos 3 theta? 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. Okay, how to remember them? Just understand that this is written here and this is written here. Okay, they have changed their places, right? They have changed their places. So understand here. Okay, same thing you have to do. 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. Okay, now what is tan 3 theta? 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta upon 1 minus 3 tan square theta. What is tan 3 theta? 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta upon 1 minus 3 tan square theta. Okay, so for now on, for now, just try to remember this formula. Okay, in the worksheet that I will share in the description box, okay, of this, okay, you will find a worksheet. In there are many questions for you to practice. There you will see questions, okay, regarding this. So you just have to plug the values inside the formulas and you will get the answer. But the important thing is to understand or realize, okay, that which formula to use, okay, and how will you know which formula to use? That will come by practice, okay. So practice is very important here. Clear? So just 1 minute, sorry. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Okay, so now what we are talking about? We are talking about small angle approximation. Okay, so now I have done all the formulas. Okay, I have completed all the formulas which you need here. Now we'll move on to the small angle approximation. So what do you mean by that? So let's take a simple example. Okay, so okay, let's suppose I am going on a drive. Okay, I am going on a long drive. Okay, and let's suppose it's like I see a tree very far away. Okay, from the window of my car I see a tree which is very far away, right? So let's suppose this one. Okay, so what, let's say this is the land. Okay, I see a tree and this is the window. Okay, this is the eye through which I am seeing. Okay, so you should understand, right, that when I see a tree very far away, it seems very small to me, no? It is not close to me, it is very far away. So I will say that okay, right, the tree is very small. Now same thing. So what will happen? One ray will go and this is the ray that is going through my eye. Correct? Okay. So now so basically what we are trying to say that, let's say this is the eye, right, and this is the object which I want to see. So let's say this is the object. Okay, so this is one end of the object and this is the other end of the object. Okay, this is your eye, this is one end of the object, this is the other end of the object. And let's suppose the angle subtended by your eye on that object is theta. Let's say this angle is theta, right? So again I repeat, what is this? This AB is an object, right, and this is the angle subtended by your eye onto that object. Now what is this? This is the perpendicular. Let's say this is the perpendicular. Okay, this will be the base, right? This will be the base, right? This will be perpendicular. This will be the base and this will be the hypotenuse. Correct? Now you understand, in this scenario, yes, can I say that this base and hypotenuse will be nearly equal? Why can I say this? Because see, understand what is the scenario. I am sitting inside a car and I am looking at a tree very far away, no? So the angle subtended, right? This is my base and this is the hypotenuse. So both of the length will be same, nearly same. So what can I say? Here the hypotenuses will be nearly equal to base. Very important. This is small angle approximation, correct? So now let's say that what is this value of sine theta? Okay, I know that the value of sine theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Correct? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Now, what is the value of cos theta? Sorry, what is the value of tan theta? Tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Okay, now understand. Okay, so in the first class of this trigonometry, right, what did I teach you? The first thing that I taught you was, if there is a sector which subtends the angle theta, and let's say this is length L, and sorry, this is, let's say, R. If this is R and this is R, then the length of this sector L, this length L, right, what is this L? This L will become R theta. Just 1 minute. What is this L? This L is equal to R theta. And what is theta? Theta is the angle subtended. So if you look here, can I say that this length is also equal to r and this length is also equal to r, because I am saying that hypotenuse is nearly equal to base here, right? And what is this perpendicular? This perpendicular is equal to L. Correct? Okay, so what we are doing, we are taking these two cases, okay, right, and we are trying to find the similarity in between them. So now let's understand. So what is the perpendicular here? So let's understand, the perpendicular is L here. And what is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is equal to R. Correct? Perpendicular is equal to L, hypotenuse is equal to R. And what is L by R? From this I can say L by R is equal to theta. So L by R is equal to theta. Similarly for tan theta, what is tan theta? Perpendicular upon, sorry, this is base, I am sorry. This is perpendicular upon base. So what is base here? Base is also equal to R. And what is L by R? L by R is equal to theta. So through this we can say that sin theta is nearly equal to theta and tan theta is nearly equal to theta. Okay, now what is cos theta? So what is cos theta? Cos theta is equal to, what is the formula for cos theta? Base upon okay, so what is value of cos theta? Base upon hypotenuse. So base upon, correct? Now what is value of base here? So base is equal to R and hypotenuse is also equal to R. So R upon R will cancel and give me 1. Right? So what is the value of cos theta? Cos theta is nearly equal to 1. Sin theta is nearly equal to theta and tan theta is also equal to theta. Okay? So this is how I will use small angle approximation in my questions. Okay, and many questions you can solve using this concept. Okay, so what is the takeaway from this concept? Okay, remember sin theta is equal to theta, cos theta is equal to 1 and tan theta is nearly equal to theta for small angles. Okay, this is a small angle up. And how is theta measured? Okay, so the important thing to remember here that theta should be measured in radians. Okay, so I will write it here that theta is measured in radians, okay, not degrees, okay, not degrees. Very important that you should measure theta in radians, not in degrees. Clear? So let's move forward now. So let's suppose if I have this question, okay, what is given? Find the approximate value of sine 1 degree, okay, sine 1 degree. So let's find. So sine 1 degree is equal to 1 degree, no? Sine theta is nearly equal to theta, right? Sine theta is equal to theta. Correct? Is this correct? Is this correct? No, this is not correct. Why this is not correct? Why this is not correct? I told you sine theta is equal to theta, right? So why it is not correct? Because I told you that you should not take this in degrees, right? You should take this in radians. So first I will convert this 1 degree into radian. So convert 1 degree into radian. So how will you convert 1 degree into radian? Okay, so I told you to convert degree into radian, you multiply it by pi by 180. Okay, so this will become pi by 180 radians. Okay, so what is the answer? So the answer for sine 1 degree will be equal to pi by 180. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, please try to solve this question, second question on your own. This is a homework for you. Clear? I hope the concept is clear to you and how to use the concept in the question. Next we'll move on to the, okay, so now what is this? Okay, so till now we are confining ourselves to angles which are between 0 and 90, okay, whatever values I am finding, right, sine 60, sine 30, sine 74, sine tan 15. Okay, if you see, all the angles are between 0 and 90. But let's suppose if they give you that, okay, find the value of sine 120. Let's say if they give you a question that find the value of sine 120 degree, then what to do in that case, right? So let's understand. Okay, so now we will use this concept. Okay, so now first of all, okay, let's understand this. What is this? This is a quadrant. Okay, how many quadrants I have? I have 4 quadrants. First quadrant, this is my second quadrant, third, and my fourth quadrant. Okay, I will start measuring my angle from this. Okay, so this is my original axis or the initial axis. Okay, so let's suppose if this is 0 degrees, this is 0 degrees. If let's say this is 0 degrees, what is this? Can I say this is 90 degree? Right? 0 degree, 90 degree. Now, what is this? 90 plus 90, this will become 180 degree. 90 plus 180 plus 90 will give me 270. Right? This will become 270. And if I again come back, what is this? This will become 360. Okay, let's continue. 360 plus 90, right? 360 plus 90 will become how much? This will become 450. 450 plus 90 will become how much? Will become 540. 540 plus 90 will give me how much? This will give me 630. 630 plus 90 will give me how much? 720. And I can continue like this, right? I can continue like this. So one complete rotation, right? I start from here. This is my base, okay, or the reference point. I start from here 90, right? 180, then 270, 360, one complete rotation. Okay, 450, right? And then how much? 450, 540, right? Then 630, correct? And then 720, and you can continue 720, 810, 900, and you can go on like this. Okay, but we are confining ourselves to these angles right now. Okay, so now first of all, what is the first step? Okay, what is the first step here? So first step is locate your angle. Okay, so I will locate your angle. Okay, so I will locate my angle. Where is my angle? 120. What is the angle? Angle is 120 degree. So where does 120 degree lie? So this is 0, 90 and 180. So can I say 120 will lie somewhere in between? Right? 120 will lie somewhere in between. So let's write this. Okay, so 120. Okay, I am saying that this is 120 will lie somewhere here. So what is this angle? This angle is 120 degrees. Correct? So I have located my angle 120 here. Now how can I write 120? Okay, so now I can write 120 in two different ways. Understand? Okay, so how many axes I have? I have two axes. One is the vertical axis and other is the horizontal axis. Right? So what can I say? This 120, right? This is how much? This is 90, right? Plus some angle, right? So 90 plus 30, right? So can I say 120, sine 120 can be written as sine 90 plus 30. Correct? I can write sine 120 as sine 90 plus 30. Also I have a horizontal axis, no? I have a horizontal axis. So what can I write? What is this? How much is this? This will be 60. Correct? This will be 60. So what can I write? I can write it as sine 180 minus 60. Correct? I can write sine 120 in these two different ways. Sine 90 plus 30 and sine 180 minus 60. Okay. So now what is the change? What are the changes we are making here? Okay. How to solve? So these are now solving in two different ways. So let's first concentrate on this sine 90 plus 30. So first of all, we will locate that. Okay, so now let's concentrate on this. So sine, okay, what I am finding, sine 120, right? So sine in which quadrant? Okay, so there is a formula which you might have also learned in smaller class, all silver tea cups. Okay, all silver teacups. So what is this all silver teacups telling me? Okay, it is telling me that in this all means all angles are positive. In this only silver for S, okay, sine and 1 upon sine, that is how much? 1 upon sine, that is cos. Sorry, cosec is positive, right? Here t, tan, t for tan, so tan and cot are positive. And in the last quadrant, cos, C for cos and sec are positive. Okay, so this is very important, because why? Because we will see that, okay, sine 120. So sine 120, in this we have sine, and sine is positive, so I will write positive here first of all, correct? So now I know the sine of this, okay, so I will know the sine of this value. Now next thing we will look at this 90. Okay, next thing we will look at this 90. Okay, let's try to solve this also together also. Okay, this will give a good understanding. So this is positive. Similarly, if you look in this way, this is sine, so this is also positive. Now what is the next thing you look at? Okay, so the next thing you look at this is this 90 and this 180. So what type of angle is this? 90 is a, yes, 90 is a vertical angle, right? 90 is a vertical angle. No, 90 is a vertical angle. So whenever you see a vertical angle, okay, this sign will change, right, to the complementary angle. And what is the complementary of sine? It is cos. When you change, whenever you see a vertical angle, okay, this is a vertical angle, you will change sine to cos. Okay, so I have changed sine to cos. So this will become how much? Cos, and I'll write 30 as it is. I'll write 30 as it is. So now you will ask a question, sir, what if this is not a vertical angle? Let's say this is 180 and this is an horizontal angle. So if you encounter a horizontal angle, you will not change anything, right? Well, what you will do, you will keep sine as it is. You will keep sine as it is, right? And just write the angle here. So now you look here. Yes, what is the value of cos 30? Cos 30 is root 3 by 2, right? Plus root 3 by 2. Similarly, what is sine 60? Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So if you choose any of the method, any one of the method, right, you will get the same answer here. Okay? So please try to understand both the methods, okay? Correct? Now let's do one more question, okay? Let's do one more question. Let's find the value of tan 660. Okay, let's find the value of tan 660. So same thing we'll do again, right? We'll draw the quadrants here and we'll locate that tan is in which quadrant, okay? So 0, okay, 90, then 180, 270, 360, then 450, then 540, then what we'll have here? We'll have 630 and then 720. Okay, so I think 660, right? 660 will lie somewhere between 630 and 720. That is the fourth quadrant, right? So I will say that it is lying somewhere here. So what is this? 660. Now I can write my tan in two different ways. What are the two different ways? Tan some vertical angle plus theta, right? So what is the vertical angle? So either this or either this, right? So what is this? So let's understand, this is 630 plus 660, this will be 30, correct? Okay, and this will be 60. Can I say this? 630 is here, and if I move 30 degree, I will get 660. Okay, and 660 plus 60 will give me 720. So I can write this as 630 plus 30 degrees, or I can write it as tan of 720 minus 60. 720 minus 60. So these are the two different ways in which we can write this, correct? So now let's understand again. So what did I tell you? You first look at the tan, right? Tan 660. So this is lying in fourth quadrant, and in fourth quadrant, what is the value of tan? Is it positive or negative? So let's go back here and we look that in fourth quadrant, cos and sec are positive, tan is negative. So what I'll say here, tan is negative, so I'll put a negative sign here. Then what we'll do, we'll look at this angle. What is this? 630. 630 is a vertical angle, right? And whenever we have a vertical angle, we write the complementary of it. So tan will become cot, right? And you write 30 as it is. So what is the value of cot 30? Cot 30 is root 3. Let's find using this method. What is tan? So now tan, again, tan 660 lies in the fourth quadrant, so the value will be negative. Now what is this? This is which angle? This is the horizontal angle, no? 720 lies somewhere here. So I will not change, I will keep tan as it is, and I will write 60 as it is. So this will give me how much? Minus, and what is the value of tan 60? Tan 60 is root 3. Okay, so we have used two methods, right? We have used both the methods and we got the same answer. Okay, so you can use any of the method, okay, both will give you the same answer. So I hope you understand how to find the answer, okay, how to find the answer where the angle is greater than 90 degree, okay, where the angle is greater than the 90 degree. Clear? Okay, so this is the homework question for you. Please try to attempt this. Okay, okay, how will you solve this? First you have to convert, okay, I will give you a hint. What is the hint? Convert this angle to radians first, sorry, degrees. It is already in radians. You will first try to convert this into degrees, so it becomes easy for you. Okay, try to convert this into degrees, and then you will be easily able to follow the method which I just taught you. Clear? So with this we end the session here. Okay, with this we end the session, and I hope you enjoyed the session. Okay, tomorrow with this I have finished trigonometry, okay, all the important concepts that you require for trigonometry. Clear? So let's meet tomorrow with a new session. Okay, most probably we'll start with straight lines tomorrow, correct? So if you have any doubts, okay, in the description box we have shared a QR code, okay, or a link where you can submit all your doubts. Please keep joining and keep learning. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.